Hi there, and welcome to episode 29 of the Sticks Plus Twine podcast. This is a special year-end review episode, and I thought since today is the 30th of December, so there's only 2 days left, and I'm actually leaving on a holiday this evening, actually, so I thought I'd do a quick record for you. I don't think it's going to be a terribly long one. I've been trying to keep these relatively short, and that seems to be pretty okay with most people. So why don't we just get started? So Vlogmas was a bit of a bust. Things kind of got in the way. I got sick. I'm actually today's the first day I actually feel pretty much 100% back to normal. Hit me like a ton of bricks. I think I was just about fighting off something, and then I got some news that I think just kind of shut my body down for a little bit. It was a pretty dramatic piece of news that I'm not going to dwell on at the moment because I want this to be a positive year-end experience for everyone. My travel plans for the holidays didn't work out quite as I'd expected either. I was meant to be in Hong Kong with Sebastian, but that didn't quite work out. But you know what, them's the breaks. It's okay. So tonight we are heading out on holiday for a week, like I said. It's going to be fun. We're heading somewhere warm, and I'll talk about that a little bit more in Knitter's World. So let's just say this year's been a bit of a bummer for a lot of people. So rather than pile on to the bummerness, let's talk about all the positive things. So this episode, we're going to talk about status report. We're going to talk about Knitter's World. We're going to talk about the haul. You probably can see some of it here. And then we're going to talk about, just looking at my notes, some favorites of 2016 and then some planning for 2017. So let's get started. So status report. Let's start with my Ray socks. I love them. I love the yarn. I love doing them in vanilla. I love the lightsaber cup and heels. But they're going to get frogged for the second time. They don't fit. Not only do they not fit me, they don't fit Sebastian. Is what it is. I decided to try and go down pretty much a full size in stitch count, and it didn't quite work out. So you know what? They're going to get frogged again. I'd gotten past the heel on the first one, and then I thought, well, they don't fit me. I'll see if they fit Sebastian. They don't fit him either. So them's the breaks. Again, it happens. So they're going to get frogged, and I'm going to work on those again. Let's talk about what socks I did work on. And I have in front of me heels. Finally, I put heels in my Rhinebeck sweater weather sock. They're still a little damp because I just blocked them last night. These are, of course, the Pneumatic Yarns Rhinebeck sweater weather colorway, and the heels are Saffron Sweet Georgia Tough Love sock, and I love the color combo between the two. What a great contrast, right? Bright and still very Rhinebeck-y. So really happy to get those done, and when they're dry then I can actually wear them. I also finished another pair of socks. Ba-boom! These are they're just vanilla socks, 72 stitch count. I did these on 2.5 millimeter needles, which is my favorite recipe now for socks. For me, they fit perfectly. 2x2 rib, no special cast on, just long tail. And I did a Fish Lips Kiss heel, which I'm not gonna lie, guys, for vanilla socks, I don't see any reason not to do them anymore. They fit really well. I'm really happy with them. I block these as well. This is the Knotted Creature with Stirring colorway from my most amazing friend Kristen at the Vine Yarns and Yargasm podcast, and this is in her footsie base. And guys, if you haven't tried it, you absolutely must. You owe it to yourself to try and get some. It's super, super, super comfy, super durable because it's BFL and nylon, and I love them. I don't know that I want to work on really anything other than hers, but I do, obviously. But I love it. If you can get it, get some. So these were my Christmas socks. I did not get them done in time for Christmas, but I finished them while I was still recovering from the flu. So there you go. Pair 2. What else am I working on? So let's talk a little bit about this hat that I am working on. This is the Burnaby hat by Jared Flood for Brooklyn Tweed. This is in the yarn is a tincture from Brooklyn Tweed as well. This is the Arbor base, their new base, which I love. The pattern is really, really good. It's just a really cool sort of Gansey hat. I've got maybe another 10, 12 rows left to go. I was trying to finish it before I left on holiday, but it didn't happen, so it might just stay here. I don't know that it's necessarily going to come with me on holiday. Kind of don't want to work on a hat over holidays, right, when it's warm. Anyway, so that's that one. What else am I working on? I am working on another pair of socks, which I have left. So stay tuned, I'll be right back. And we're back. So I did get my other pair of socks that I cast on, and they're just wee at the moment, just teensy tiny little ones. This is the Time Traveler colorway from Knit Picks. This is in Felici. Boom. I have 2 balls of this, and I've been holding on to it for a while, and I was going to try and hold off for a while on it, and it's getting started, but frankly I'm counting this towards my 2017 box of socks Cal. We'll talk about Cal in just a moment as well, but that's where I'm at with it. I wanted to get these cast on because I wanted to knit something on the plane, and I always feel like taking bare knitting needles with nothing on it on a plane kind of just begs the question, like, are you really a knitter, especially as a guy? But I got started and I couldn't stop. That's what I love about this. Felici, you've got to admit, right, with these stripes or any self-striping, they're fun to work on. And they're addictive because you just want to get to the next stripe and the next stripe. This pattern is the Vanilla Latte pattern, and it's a free pattern on Ravelry, so you can check it out. It's a broken rib on there. I don't know if this is ever going to focus up close enough for you to see it, but I love it. It's good, and I do like working Felici. It feels really soft, really soft. It's probably not as durable as some other yarns potentially. I don't know. I haven't worn through my Baker Street socks yet, so who knows. But I really like working on it. It's just a 2-row repeat, and I'll do just a fish lips kiss. But I saw a thing. Where was it? I can't remember. I was reading a bunch of sock patterns because as we're talking about planning for 2017, you'll understand why. That's coming at the end. I saw a tip that said if you knit your body of your leg of your sock from one end, and then you do the heel of it. Oh, I forget. I know what pattern it was, but I don't remember what it's called. If you knit the heel from the other end of the ball of yarn, and then keep going with once the heel is done, you keep going with the first strand, then it won't break your stripes. So I thought, genius, that's what I'm gonna do. So I've been able to sort of pull out the second end, and I know where that is, so I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do the body and sort of from one end, do the heel from the other end, snip it off. Yes, I'll have to weave in some ends, but who cares, right? Who cares? So that's what I'm gonna do, so it'll maintain the stripes. So I'm gonna try that and I'll let you know how that goes. So that's coming with me on holiday, for holiday knitting, of course. Let's see. I did a quick test knit along the way that I can't show you because it's not released yet, but as soon as it is, I will show you. You'll probably see it on my Instagram at some point when I get back from holiday, because I think it's going to be released before then. I also finished another hat. Apparently it's all about the hats. That I gave away for Christmas, and I forgot to take a picture beforehand. I have a really stupid picture of me wearing the hat that I'm not going to share because it's stupid, but it was just like a crazy little picture. But I did the Mawson hat from Brooklyn Tweed. It was the one that I was working on during my last trip to New York. If you check my Instagram feed, then you will find some information there, I'm sure. Or at least a couple of pictures of what I was working on. And I did it in the newsprint Merled Shelter from Brooklyn Tweed. Really nice hat. It's completely reversible. The decreases are really cool. The pattern, I'm not gonna lie, was a bit expensive, but I needed something that I could knit on, not think about, because I knew I was gonna be out socially doing some knitting and stuff, so I thought I need just a simple pattern. And I really wanted to work with the newsprint Marled, so I just went with, there's the pattern. So anyway, it was expensive for a hat pattern, especially for a really, really simplified one. But I did learn some cool stuff out of it. I learned how to do a faux tubular cast on through a sort of a ribbed cable cast on, which was really neat. And actually the Burnaby hat also has the same cast on. Maybe I should show that to you. Maybe you can see it. I'm trying not to drop stuff in my tea, which is in my Debbie Bliss Home knitting mug. So, and it says, hopefully you can see that, knit to end of all things. It's just English breakfast tea. Anyway, so there's the cast on. I don't think it's gonna focus. Maybe it'll focus. It basically mimics a tubular cast on so that you get a really nice, clean, professional edge without all the hassle of doing a tubular, which is, let's face it, not that much. It's not that hard. It's just time consuming, whereas this is like easy peasy. So I learned that in the Mawson. And then I learned the reversible 1x1 rib decrease technique, which worked out really, really well. Really happy with it. So there's that. The last thing I wanted to show you is my pie shawl. So let's talk a little bit about the Everybody Loves Pie Cal, which is going on really, really well. I see a lot of people are participating, thrilled with that. Some people are starting to lose a little bit of steam, and girl, I feel you. I'm at the point now where I am finished the 3rd chart out of 5. And it's not gonna come out right to show you because I needed the needles to work on something else. So I just put these little Cocoa Knits foam stoppers, which I've talked about before and are the best things ever. And I've got my little tea bag stitch marker that I think I actually got that from Molly at Homespun House like a year ago. I think that's where I got that from. Anyway, I've stopped at this point only because I need to do another lifeline. So I've got this big spool of crochet cotton to do my lifeline in, but I have to sew it in, and I haven't done that yet, so I will get to it before I start on it. But it looks like a great big beret. Last time you saw it, I was pretty much done chart B. So there's chart A in the middle, chart A, chart B, and then this is all the texture for chart C, which again, I'm sorry, this is never gonna show right until I get it finished and blocked out. So I love the texture, I love how it's working out. I did have to use the lifeline a couple of times. I kind of messed up on one thing, I wasn't paying attention. And I'm not a good lace knitter, I am learning. I'm not good with it because I'm like, zip, 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 knit, 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 la, 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 la. Uh-oh. I screwed something up and I don't know how to fix it. So anyway, it's coming along. It's getting bigger, but I think it's almost going to double in size by the time I finish the next chart. So I can't wait to finish it though. I love the color. And actually, surprisingly enough, at least on my screen I record on my iPhone, it actually looks like it's coming out pretty good. So if you have not seen, this is Honey from Quince & Company. Looks like a morel mushroom now, in their Finch fingering base, which I love, 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 love. So that's what that's doing at the moment. We're gonna just tuck that away for now because I'm not gonna look at that little guy until after holiday. Oh, so that's my Fringe Supply bag in the orange color from Pearl Soho, by the way. Okay, so that's it for status report. That's all I got on the needles that I can talk about. Everything else is flatline for the moment. Things are a little bit in a timeout. The bare knee sweater's in a little bit of a timeout, only because I forgot where I left off and I didn't mark it in the pattern, and I think I might have gone a couple of rows further than I actually meant to. So it's in a timeout until I figure out what I want to do with it. Am I going to rip it back? Am I just going to say, as Shannon would say, F it, it's fine? I don't know. We'll figure it out. So let's come back and let's talk a little bit about cals. Okay, let's talk about the Box O Socks cal that is hosted by Kristen, again, of Yarngasm Podcast and Wool and Vine Yarns. So I didn't make it to 12, and there's no way that I'm going to finish, and I need to finish 1.5 pairs more by the time tomorrow comes around, and that's not going to happen. So I did not make it. That's okay, no big deal. I have a lot of really cool socks that I'm thrilled with. I'm getting to the point where I think I might actually have to weed out my sock drawer of things that I don't wear, or things that are like on the verge of, I should probably get rid of those, to make room for all these great socks that I've been making. So if you haven't finished it yourself, then you are in company with me. I won't say good company, because it depends on your perspective if I'm good company or not. But she's rerunning it for next year. So when we talk about planning for 2017, I have a plan, because I'm going to get it done this time. Yes, I have a plan. So that's it for talking about box of socks, Cal. Let's talk next about Knitter's World. So I am leaving on holiday tonight. We're flying down. We have a later flight tonight. Sebastian's working at the moment, which gives me a chance to record. I'll probably edit this while we're waiting and try and upload it sometime between now and tomorrow. So this will probably go up on December 31st. So we are going to Florida to, we have a timeshare there, so that we're going to go to, and it's in Orlando. And so I redeemed a whole ton of air miles and got us 2 5-day passes to Disney. So we have been to Universal a couple of times, and relatively recently. So we thought, let's go to Disney this time. So we're going to go to Magic Kingdom hopefully tomorrow. We can't really check in to our timeshare till tomorrow afternoon. It may be too late to get into the Magic Kingdom. But if we do, that's where we'll be for actual midnight for New Year. If not, we'll probably go to Epcot, which I'm really looking forward to. They've got a new light show that has like 500 drones with like LED lights, and they do 3D pictures, and I don't know, it sounds really cool. So that's where we're going to be for New Year. The weather's supposed to be really good. It's supposed to be nice and warm, so it'll be a nice break for the year, and I'm just glad that I'm healthy enough now that I'm going to be able to enjoy it. So that's what we're doing. I'm bringing knitting. I'm just bringing socks, I think. I might bring the hat to finish it. It feels a bit of a shame to just sort of leave it when I know like an hour's sort of dedicated knitting, and I can just get that puppy off the needles. So I might do it. We'll see. What else? December is going to be done. That means it's January, and that brings Vogue Knitting Live. I can't believe it's literally 2 weeks today. I am so excited, I can't even tell you. I'm arriving on the Friday. I'll be there on the Saturday. I'll be there on the Sunday, and I'm going to fly home either late Sunday night or Monday morning, probably Monday morning. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Last time trying to get back from New York didn't work out so well, so we will keep an eye on the weather. I have a class on Friday afternoon. I have a class Saturday morning, and then I have a lecture Saturday at noon. And then I will be shopping around the marketplace. And here's the thing. I'm not going with a plan or a mission to get a big haul. In just going down to pick out some Felici to do my socks yesterday, it really hit me how much haul and stash I have. And I really want to spend more time knitting from stash. I don't need to acquire much else. That said, I do want to make a sweater out of Brooklyn tweed, and I may acquire the yarn to do it while I'm there. I have some other plans coming up that if I can find some of the yarn that I'm really interested in, then I will likely pick it up. But I'm going with project-specific purchases in mind. I am really tempted to get an Empire skein from Jill Draper. I want a yarn baby, and I want it for a centerpiece on my dining table. Yes, call me crazy. It's all good. It's fine. It's fine. But I really want a yarn baby. I don't want a baby. I want a yarn baby. So, we'll see. We'll see. I have needles. I have all the notions that I could possibly need for the moment. You never know. Innovation abounds. You know, there might be stuff that I might want. But I think I'm going to be seeking out, I know Pearl Soho's going to be there this year. Stephen B will be there, which always has some interesting sort of one-off things that I find really cool. That's where I got my These Are the Droids You're Looking For That's where I think I got my 3 Irish Girls, Trust Me, I'm the Doctor. So I picked up a few things there last year. If I find one-offs like that, it would be kind of cool too. But I'm going more for just the experience. I want to learn. It's just like, it's the best conference. It's not quite the same as Rhinebeck. It's not a fair. It's not that sort of thing. It's full on, you know, knit for your lives kind of thing. And it's fun as heck. I'm going to say hell. It's fun as hell. I had an amazing time last year and I'm looking forward to this year too. So that's that. So that's it for Knitter's World. Why don't we talk a little bit about the haul? Okay, so let's talk about the haul. Some of the stuff that I'm going to show you I purchased and picked up for myself, and some of it were Christmas presents. I'm still waiting on one Christmas present to arrive, and that is the book Sequence Knitting by Cecilia Campochiaro, who is the lecturer that I will be seeing on Saturday at Vogue Knitting Live. It hasn't arrived yet. Apparently it's getting really hard to find. I think the first printing is probably out of date. It's out of stock. Not out of date, it's only come out a year and a half ago. But I'm dying to get my hands on it. I was really toying with the idea of doing her full day class on the Sunday at Vogue Knitting Live, and I went to register for it last night. It looks like there's maybe one spot left. And then I saw the price and went, oh my God, I can't do it. I just can't do it. It's just too much. I've spent enough money on classes and the trip itself is, you know, travel's expensive. So I decided not to do it. But that's coming. So I'm really excited about the book, period. So what else do we have? As I stretch and reach. Okay, I picked up some more Arbor when I was at Pearl Soho last time. And this is the Sashiko colorway. I'm sorry that's blowing out. That doesn't do any good. Here, let's do this. There we go. It is a wonderful, wonderful navy. It's got a bit of gray to it. It's a bit of a grayed out navy, which I really, really like. Look, see, it matches my outfit. I bought 2 skeins. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it yet. I think I might make a cowl. I've got some other colors that I think will go really nice with it. For instance, that could go really nice together because I'm going to have more of the tincture left. I've also got some humpback in the Arbor. So I'm kind of a fan of that one. What else did I get? So that's that one. I bought those. I talked about the book. Okay, let's go into Christmas presents. I was really, really fortunate this year. And one of the things that I got was this little set of repair hooks from Twig and Horn. These are the ebony colorway. And they are basically alternating ends. I don't think you're ever going to see that. Let me see. Oh, wrong way. Such an idiot. So they are alternating ends, double-ended crochet hooks that you use when you drop stitches. And it comes in 3 sizes in the packet and sort of a small, medium, and large size. And these live in my Twig and Horn Notions pouch, which I think I've shown you this before. I'm sure that I did. And I love it because it's gray wool felt. It lives in there. This comes with me pretty much everywhere. And so I love those. That was from Mom and Dad. Mom and Dad also bought me, so here's the funny thing. I put a Christmas list together. I sent it to Sebastian. I sent it to my parents, thinking that they might coordinate. They were on the same email, thinking they might coordinate between them. Yeah, that didn't happen. I think everybody just got busy. So I got kind of duplicates of some stuff that I'm thrilled about. I can't even tell you. So let's talk first about my Burnaby hat is living in one of them. And you would have seen this if you follow me on Instagram. This is the Twig and Horn, one of their yarn bowls, which if I turn this, is that, oh, look at that, got it the right way. Twig and Horn. This is the red oak colorway. It's very solid. It's actually a lot bigger than you'd think, right? Just for perspective, it's kind of half the size of the head. Of course, you can like feed your yarn through it. I love this. This sits next to me on the couch when I'm knitting, and it just looks awesome. It keeps the yarn from sort of rolling all over the place. And I have found that when I cake up my yarn, I prefer to work from the outside in as opposed from the inside out. And of course that comes with rolling. So if it's in a bag, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't go anywhere. But on the couch or if you're at home, these yarn bowls are handy. but I got a second one. So Sebastian actually ordered one as well. They were out of the red oak, so he ordered me the birch. So I now have, and of course my socks are living in there currently, I have matching yarn bowls. They're all unique. No two are alike because, let's face it, trees grow differently, just like people. I love this one. It's got this really cool kind of knot on the end of it. So there's twig and horn stamped on the bottom. And I love them both. They're so organic and sculptural, and like literally they could just sit on a table somewhere and people would think that they're gorgeous because they are. So I got those, which I love, love, love. Trying to think what was the other one. Oh, this pile of stuff here. You will see. Let me just grab some. The problem with these is that I think the stickers they used to hold the bands on kind of came undone a little bit. So those who are, familiar with Twig and Horn will have seen Twig and Horn being sort of a part of the Quince & Co. family. They released stone wool yarn, which is Cormo. I'm just gonna take this off. They're Cormo. Ooh, that really doesn't look right. That looks better. Okay, we'll keep you there. In a bunch of different colorways, and I got 3 different colorways. This is, it looks like they did sort of a gradient dye. So they did Tobacco 1, Tobacco 2, and Tobacco 3. So I got 2 from my parents. They bought me 2 of the Tobacco 2. And Sebastian bought me 2 of each of them. So I've got 4 of this one, 2 of this one, and 2 of this one. Which, for a lot of people, actually would be more than sufficient sweater quantity. For me, it is not quite. I would need probably another 2. I'm kind of thinking of ordering another one of this and another one of this and doing a gradient sweater. What do you think? Comment below, please. Let me know. So, what does it say about Stonewall? Stonewall began with a small run of hand-spun yarns made from wool sourced from local New England farms. We noted the variations in fleeces from sheep to sheep and loved exploring how different spins affected each fiber type. Sounds good. Cormo worsted. So this is worsted. It's a mill-spun yarn developed in partnership with Twig and Horn. Using blah, 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 springy Cormo from a pair of ranches located in Montana and Wyoming, and tinkering with the spin. And blah, 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 blah. This yarn blooms in the soak, which I have no doubt about that. It can be knitted in a wide range of gauges for for different fabrics. So, I'm loving it. Love it. I have like a bouquet of Cormo. Check out that bouquet of Cormo. I blame Jacqueline entirely for instigating my love of Cormo. I blame Michelle Wong for introducing me to this idea of this particular yarn, and now I have a whole bunch of it and I'm thrilled. So thanks to Mom and Dad, thanks Sebastian, made my Christmas! And I was sick as a dog, so it was really nice to have something to cheer me up. So that's that for the haul. Let's come back and talk about some favorites of 2016 and planning for 2017. Okay, so now that we're done with acquisitions, we're done with status report, we're done with the Knitter's World, there's not much more to say other than I wanted to do a bit of a recap of my favorites of 2016. I thought about doing this as a separate episode, but frankly I'm not going to have time. So I thought, what the heck, let's just do it all in one. So I'm looking at my notes here. Let's do favorite yarn of 2016. So I've done a favorite and then a runner-up. My favorite yarn of 2016, probably by no one's surprise, is Brooklyn Tweed Arbor. I think it's absolutely amazing. I love the color range. I love the depth of colors. I love the springiness of it. I love the stitch definition. I love everything about it. It's a little bit lighter weight than I would probably want. I would love if they would do it in a worsted version, but why would they when they have shelter? But I really, really, really like it. I don't know how you feel about it, but it's my favorite yarn of 2016. The runner-up, I'm gonna say, is actually an indie dye base, which is Kristen Woolenvine, which I've talked about it a couple of times already this podcast, but I love Kristen. I can't help it. But what I love most is I love her footsie base. I absolutely love it. I've now done a couple of pairs of socks in it. I still have a skein of Outlander that I am holding on to and will probably be, we'll talk about that in 2017 planning. But that's my runner-up for favorite yarn of 2016. So now let's talk about my favorite pattern of 2016. My favorite pattern of 2016 is the Oster pullover by Michelle Wong for Brooklyn Tweed for their fall collection. There's something about that pattern that just makes me thrilled and happy, and I can't wait to get working on it. I do have the yarn already for it that my wonderful friend Andy of Andre Sue Knits actually dyed for me in this beautiful sort of green apple green, which I love, and it's going to show off that pattern just beautifully. So that's my favorite pattern of 2016. The runner-up is not a pattern that came out in 2016, but remembering I've only been knitting for just over a year, so hashtag my podcast, my rules. So my second favorite pattern is the Saudade hat by Isolde Teague. No question when you see the picture that it is Grello, and you all know how I feel about Grello. So I actually asked for the kit from Isolde's website to make it. And it's in Jamieson & Smith 2-ply jumper weight, and I didn't get it, and that's fine. I don't expect everything on my list that I'm going to be given for a holiday, but I went to order it for myself, and it's sold out. So what am I going to do when I go shopping at Vogue Knitting Live? I'm going to see if I can get some Jamieson & Smith 2-ply jumper weight. That's my plan. So that's my runner-up. My favorite designer of 2016. This will come probably as no big shock, but my favorite designer of 2016 is Michelle Wong. I think Michelle does tremendously wonderful work. I love her cables. I love her intellectualism behind them. When I looked at all of the work that I've really been drawn to, all the patterns, even the hat patterns and accessories, they seem to be coming from Michelle. So good on you, Michelle. I'm sad that she's moved to Vegas because I won't get to see her in New York when I go to visit. But that means I just have to go to Vegas. That's all. Runner-up designer of this year. Guys, I'm jumping on the Brooklyn Tweed bandwagon so hard on this episode, I know. But I'd say it's Jared Flood. When I, again, looked at the patterns that I've made this year and the ones that I've enjoyed making the most, they come from Jared and Michelle, just the way it is. I think the spearhead sweater that he did was magnificent. I think the Burnaby hat I'm really enjoying. I love how it's coming out. But Michelle's got just the slightest little edge, but I love the two of them. So those are my favorite designers of 2016. Favorite project of 2016. This was a tough one, guys. I don't know what to do. There's so many good projects out there. Maybe it's just because it's one of my most recent ones. A combination of right yarn, right pattern, right environment, everything. It's this guy. It's the Burnaby hat. I haven't even finished it, and it is my favorite. You might be tempted to think that it might be something that I designed or something that might be in rib, and that's a cheat. That's a cheat. I could do that. That's self-promotion. Guys, we've done a great job. Magazine's awesome. Everybody loves it. I love it. Do you love it? If you got it, do you love it? I don't know. Here, plug. But this is my favorite project. It's living in my new favorite accessory with my favorite yarn in my favorite color. I don't have to do a favorite color. You guys all know, it's either blue or yellow-green, chartreuse. My favorite's gray. Not that hard to pick. But that's my favorite project of 2016. My second favorite, the sort of runner-up, is my furrow cowl, which I forgot to bring with me. I should have been a little more prepared. Sorry, packing for holiday, I'm all confused. My furrow cowl, which you will have seen before, is my second favorite project. It comes from, again, Jared Flood. This is why you can probably see why he was one of my favorite designers of this year. I love it, love it, love it. It's comfortable, it's cozy. I get so many compliments on it. Again, right yarn, right project, right memories of making it and where it got started. It got started on my wonderful trip to go and see Jacqueline, which was awesome. And yeah, so that's my runner-up for favorite project of 2016. So the only other last thing I was going to add was sort of favorite books of 2016. Here's the thing, my favorite books, I don't have one of them yet, which is sequence knitting, but I think maybe that just might be because I'm most anticipating that I'm going to love it. I actually really loved Nora Gaughan's new book, I want to get the title right, Knitted Cable Source Book. I really, really love that book too. That's a really, really cool one. Both of these books are very intellectual and analytical in the structure of knitting, and I really, really enjoy it. So those would be my favorite books. Okay, so knitting aside, push, wipe to the side. Favorite TV show of this year? The ones that I've talked about the most probably are Sense8, which I loved. Well, did I love this season? I don't know that I loved. I did a Christmas special, and I don't know that I loved it. It was okay. I was hoping the story would move along a little bit more, but whatevs. It's a great series. If you haven't watched it, I really highly recommend it. I don't know what else I would say. I think, you know what? I'm not going to bother. I'm not going to dwell on it. Favorite movie of this year? Okay, so I love horror movies. I'd say The Conjuring 2 was pretty awesome. Loved it. Force Awakens, guys. I didn't love it. Not gonna lie, didn't love it. That was the day before I got sick and I was tired. It was a late showing, so I think I need to see it again. What am I talking about? Force Awakens. Duh, Force Awakens I loved. No, I'm talking about Rogue One. That's what I meant to say. Rogue One, it was okay. It was alright. I don't know that I have a favorite movie. I would say Arrival was pretty awesome. That one was so thought-provoking and amazing. That was pretty cool. I loved it. Okay, so I think that's it for favorites. Why don't we take a short break? I'm just going to refresh my tea a little bit, and then we'll talk about some planning for 2017. All right, so our very last segment for 2016 is planning for 2017. This year I have sort of 4 main areas that I want to try and focus on. And this doesn't mean that I won't be doing other projects at all, not by any means. I will always have socks on the go because that's a big one. But I want to make sure that I'm planning out more stuff instead of just acquiring. It's kind of like that first year is just like, gimme, gimme, gimme. And now I kind of want to do, wait, slow down, let's think this through and figure out what I want to do. So for 2017 Box of Socks Cal, I'm creating sort of a list for myself month by month of what yarn I want to use, because I have a ton of sock yarn, and what pattern I want to pair that with. There's some things that I'm going to try that'll be new. There's a sock pattern called Dalekinium, which is a Doctor Who inspired pattern, which is a toe-up sock pattern that I really want to do. I've never done a pair of toe-up socks. So there's things like I'll add some more stuff into the mix. It's not just going to be all vanilla socks, but I have pretty much all of them planned out. If you're interested, maybe what I'll do is I'll share sort of, in Ravelry, I'll share sort of a list of what I'm planning to do. And if you want to follow along or post your own, then you can too. Maybe to get some ideas along the way as well. So that's kind of what I'm doing for socks. But that kind of leads into sort of another big one, which is sort of a squills. I want to talk about squills. No, skills acquisition. There's some things that I want to learn and things that I want to try and focus on, like color work. I really want to do more color work, and I want to learn to do some steeking. And I kind of have a project and a cal in mind that will come out after the Everybody Loves Pie cal, that will combine color work, steeking, and skills acquisition, kind of all at the same time. So I'm not a teacher, I'm not an instructor by any means, but this is what I'm planning to do to help sort of boost my skills and confidence. And if you want to join along, then I will be hosting a cal that does that. Other skills. I'm fascinated by this idea of sequence knitting. So I don't know much to say about it yet because I haven't read the book. But once I get it and I start reading it through, then that's something I'm going to start thinking about as well. If you haven't seen, there's sort of I'll call it a color work sequence knit scarf shawl that Cecilia has on her website. If you go to sequenceknitting.com, I believe is the address, you can see it, where she's sort of paired light colors and dark colors in a row by row progression that I think is just amazing. And I kind of think I want to do that. I kind of want to make that. So that's that. The other things I want to focus on this year are garments. I've only made the one sweater so far, and I really want to focus on making a few more garments. I have about 4 sweaters quantities five actually, sitting in my stash. 3 are for me, 2 are for other people that I really have to get going on at some point, but I want to make something for myself first. So I want to focus on that, and that leads me into my last thing, which is about designing. I'm not a knitwear designer by any means. I published one design, but I want to learn how to do it. I find it really interesting. It's an intellectual exercise for me. It's why the classes I signed up for at Vogue Knitting Live are design-focused classes. They're not on knitting skills acquisition. It's more about design skills. So that's sort of the next or the last territory that I really want to sort of think about this year. I'm just checking to see my show notes because I think, look at that. That was it. So, garments, socks, skills, and designing. That's kind of my focus for 2017. I'd love to hear what your sort of focus is. If you have one, if you don't have one, that's fine. You don't have to by any means, especially you knitters who have been knitting for 20, 30, 40, 50 more years. You probably don't have a lot more to learn. If you haven't learned it by now, you may not want to, or you may just be comfortable in that, you know what, you've probably knit it all and done it all. So love to hear your advice, what you think. Comment either below or in Ravelry, and let's hear. So that's it for pretty much 2016. We are working hard on the second issue of Rib Magazine already. It's shaping up to be a pretty good issue, guys. I think we're really happy with the patterns that have been selected. Yeah, it's going to be good. That's all I'm going to say for now about that. So that's it for 2016. I can't believe the year is gone and done already. I will be posting again come January. I am back. Oh gosh. I might squeak in a quick little episode before Vogue Knitting, but then the next episode will be the big post-Vogue Knitting exercise, the recap, the review, the intrigue, the drama. No, I'm kidding. It'll be post-VKL if I don't squeak out a quick little episode in between them. So that's it from me to you. Wish you a very, very happy new year. I guess in places like Australia, it's already New Year's Eve. So Happy New Year to one and all, to you and your loved ones. I wish you nothing but warmth and coziness. And let's go for health and wealth as well, shall we? Take care. We'll see you in 2017.